Oui, moi c'est un travail avec ma paix travail. Et comme là, moi c'est un gouvernement, moi travaille beaucoup.
So, pour qui raison on feel like ces jeunes gens n'ont pas le travail là?
Ils juste pas le faire. Et moi-même c'est un gouvernement, je veux travailler. Grâce à moi, entamé, plein de filles.
Avec ces jeunes boucles là, ça c'est dans le bloc là.
Et ça a mouché.
So, mais comment un jeune monde ça allait avec c'est l'idée, c'est pour pas travailler. Comment ça a fait?
Non, ça est destination. Yo.
À quoi de ces destinations pour faire ça?
Pour yo juste souhaiter là, pas faire rien, assis là sous bloc là, pas faire rien.
Bon, les assis là, qui mon gars sont yo?
Yo même si bah ou même yo capable de voler. Vous comprenez? OK.
All right, people. Just to demonstrate to you the destructive nature of a lot of people and how some poor people are very destructive to the economic growth of the country. This land here, this farm here, is a partner's farm. The man died probably around a year ago. Now, I used to come here and check him out while he was working. And there was an occasion where he actually roasted nuts on this land to give me. And I told him that he's the only person I know who have roasted nuts specifically for me. And I have another video that I did with him here where I was asking him questions about young people and why young people don't want to work. So this is the land. He left this land here. I'm not sure. I think this is some government kind of land. So he left the land. Now there's a farmer that I know of who's very active in farming, very serious, one of the most productive farmers around. He actually, for some agreement he had with the guy, and he came over here and sprayed the land so that he could start working the land. Certain guys came and tell him how you're not supposed to be doing that. There are other people that need the land, his other family members or whatever need the land. Look, the main farmer guy who was serious about working this thing here, they chased him out of here. And look, the people who were saying that the guy have family and they want to work there, and look, the land has been there for around a whole year and none of them, nobody has ever done anything on that land. I tell you that to tell you this. There are lands in the valley, Denry Valley, that are government lands under the protection of NDC, which is now called Invest St. Lucia, and other government projects. Now these lands were leased to farmers under some kind of agreement. Now what happened now is some of these farmers are not doing anything with those lands. Some of them will just behave like they're planting bananas. Then they apply no fertilizer, no chemicals, no inputs. The place is just overridden with weeds and grass. And when people start complaining, what they will do is they'll come back and they will start behaving like they're spraying, they're trying to apply herbicides. And they do that every year. And the only reason they do that is because they do not want other people who are serious to get access to their lands. The reason why they're doing that is because they believe somehow that the government is going to sell these lands to them. So it is almost like they almost speculating on these lands. And the fact is, these are some of the most fertile lands in the country. And the government should not be selling these lands to farmers under no circumstances, because the day you sell these lands, the people will be building houses and doing other things that have nothing to do with farming. If it is, or if at all, that the government have to sell these lands, there must be stipulation and clauses where they cannot use these lands for anything other than production agriculture. So this is one of the problems. This is one of the problems we face in the country, in the Denry Valley, where there are people who are on government lands, farmlands, highly productive lands, yet they do nothing agriculture. They just allow bananas to grow, and they never take care of these bananas just because they believe if they have something on it, the government people will not take the land from them. But everybody, the whole community know that these people have been doing that for years upon years. They never produce not one banana on these lands, but they're just blocking the land so that other people do not have access to it, because they believe somehow the government will be careless enough to sell these lands to them. There are some people who are in need of agricultural lands to produce. There are people that are in need of lands. For example, I have plants that I have planted for a project, and I am trying to get some of these government lands, but there are some people that are holding these lands. They are not producing anything on it. But some of the reason why these people are doing that is because they believe, in some cases, that the political party is in power, and by virtue of that, no one can take them off, no one can take them out. And so, the situation we face is that the governments refuse to get these fellas off the land and give it to people who are actually involved in agricultural production. They will not do it for the locals. But if a foreigner comes here, if a foreigner comes and he wants to invest in something, you will see how fast the government people will get these people off the land with inducements and other things to accommodate the foreigner. But if it is something that the local people need their land, they will not get locals off the land to give locals that are serious, but they will get locals off the land to give to foreigners. Some of these people are just holding government lands. They have no plans of doing anything productive. They just believe someday that the government will sell their land cheap and they will buy it, which will never happen, because these are the most fertile lands in the community, and these governments will not, neither SLP nor UWP, will not let these people have these lands for them to get it into other things like housing. That will not happen. And so the problem really, children who do not have manners will behave badly. But the problem really is with the parents. In this case, the problem is with entities that are responsible for dealing with government lands. They will allow those people to continue holding government lands, knowing that the people are not going to cultivate anything, knowing that the people have not cultivated these lands in around probably 10, 15 years. But what they will do is they will easily get the locals off to accommodate a foreigner, but they will not get these unproductive locals off to accommodate a local person who has a plan. These are some of the problems we have. These are some of the root cause of the problems that we have in agriculture in this country. Word.